distinguished leaders of the African continent, esteemed brothers and sisters of Burkina Faso, fellow Africans, and observers across the world, I stand before you today not as a lone voice in the desert, but as a representative of a continent that has been silent for too long. Africa home, our heritage, our hope has reached a critical turning point. The winds have shifted. The tides of history are no longer written in distant capitals. Today, they begin here, on African soil, by African hands. We are no longer interested in polite conversations that lead to endless promises and no transformation. We are no longer willing to remain the fuel that drives other nations' progress, while our people walk in darkness, thirst, and hunger. The wealth beneath our soil is not a curse, it is our inheritance. And it shall now serve our people first. In recent months, Burkina Faso, along with our fellow sovereign states across the Sahel and beyond, has begun a bold journey and irreversible shift toward genuine independence. And today, I make this declaration to the world, not in hostility but in truth. Africa will no longer export its mineral resources to be exploited by foreign powers. We will refine, utilize, and transform our wealth here for our people. And yes, this message is addressed to everyone, including those who have historically benefited from Africa's open doors, including the United States and its former leaders, such as Donald Trump. Let me be clear. Africa is not at war. Africa is not in crisis. Africa is simply waking up. For decades, our minerals gold, uranium, cobalt, lithium, manganese have been dug out of our earth and sent away. Ships arrived full of equipment and promises, and left overflowing with our future. What did we receive in return? Loans, lectures, sanctions, and the illusion of partnership. But now, the mask has fallen. Today, Burkina Faso stands in solidarity with Mali, Niger, Guinea, and all African nations who have found their voice. We are not looking for enemies, we are building alliances. But we will no longer accept imbalances. We will no longer be quiet about our suffering, while others dine on our resources. We have been called poor by those who profited off our gold. We have been called unstable by those who destabilized us for access. We have been called third world by those who built their empires from our first world minerals. I say, enough. Let this be heard clearly from Ouagadougou to Washington, from Accra to Brussels, from Addis Ababa to Beijing. Africa is not begging for a seat at the table. Africa is building its own table. And to the former President of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump, who once proudly declared that America is not the world's policeman, yet whose economic policies ensured America remained its toll booth operator. I say this with all due respect, leave Africa alone.